Hi there, my name is Sandy Zimmer. Welcome to my YouTube channel. I'm so glad you're here. Today we're going to create this card using the April stamp of the month for 2023. It's called Sweet Tweets. And we're also going to use Z4700, the Cosette card making stamp and thin cut set. And you can see here that the thin cuts have this oval as well as all those other shapes, but I'm going to use that oval today. And there I've used it on some white daisy. I've also stamped that flower image. And the just a note sentiment is from the stamp of the month. So I'm just going to pull out that oval one more time here and just create an edge around my oval here. And I'm using the Capri ink. And of course my blender brush is going to help me out. Now I could have taped this down in place and that probably would have made my life easier, but I tend to not take the easy route. So as I turn it here, I have to sort of reposition it because it's not staying in place. It is not a very wide thin cut, which is totally fine, but that also means that I have to hang on to it a little bit more. So I don't put as much ink around the bottom as I do around the top. You can add as much or as little as you want. Of course, you want to start lighter and then add more as you go because it's pretty tough to take it off once it's on there. So as I lift it up, you can see that that's given me that white border around the edge. And now I'm using the Z4600. This is the Bluebird shimmer brush, and I'm using that to color in those flowers. I love the shine that it gives, and it's just another pretty color of blue that I really like. So you'll see when I lift it up in a moment here that there is some white space around the edge of those petals. I wanted to sort of make it a little bit more dimensional, and so I left those white. Here I'm spritzing a little bit again with the shimmer brush, cleaning up my workspace. Now these are the birds that I've colored up at the beginning of the month here, and I continue to use those same birds throughout the whole month. But you could of course color them any way you want. I'm adding that shimmer brush to this bird just to create the continuity between the two images here. And here is my card base, and that is X254 if you're interested in getting the card bases and envelopes. This is the shortbread cardstock X6059, and I've cut it to 4 by 5 1/4. And that piece of yellow that you see there is from the Flowershop. It was just a piece I had on my desk here. And that is X8033B. And I'm dovetailing this as I want to create a little bit of a different look here. But I also want it to be a little longer than it was. So I'm just going to cut it in the middle and slide it in behind. And no one's going to be the wiser except for, well, whoever watches this video, I guess. So I'm sort of dry fitting it, seeing what I want to do here. I like the way that that looks, so I'm going to go ahead and start working on these pieces. And if you've watched me before, you know that I love to doodle, so I'm doodling around the outside of these banner pieces. And I'm just using my black journaling pen here for this. I'm also going to do a little line around the shortbread cardstock here. And my hand's not very steady, and so it's pretty squiggly, but I like that. I'm also going to do some splattering using that Bluebird shimmer brush again. And I wanted a few more prominent dots, more strategically placed perhaps. So I've squished a little bit onto my all-purpose mat there, and I'm actually just touching the tip of that brush onto my cardstock. And then I decided I'm going to go in for a few more splatters. I just wiped off the tip of that brush because there was quite a lot sitting there and I didn't want it to make a mess when I went to use it next time. So because I'm not very patient, I just sort of wiped up the rest of that shimmer off the front of the card there and went ahead and started assembling. So that shortbread is going down first, and then I'm going to use that timber cardstock along the bottom. And then, of course, those banner pieces. Now, I've gone ahead and I put adhesive on the backs of all of these, but I'm not going to push down too hard just yet. Again, I'm dry fitting it and just making sure that I know where I want everything to go. You can see that as I place those down, they look like they're going all the way across. Now that one sort of slid down and I thought, hey, I actually kind of like that. So I'm sort of changing up the look of my original placement. And I like how that's coming together, so I commit to that and push that all down. Here's a close-up look of what we've got so far. Now I wanted a little bit more shimmer, so I go for the Z4700, the gold glitter gems. I'm using the tiny ones here, and I'm just using my scissors to help me pick them off that acetate piece and put them where I want them to go. Now I like how that looks, but I think I want to add 3 more dots down the side here. This little corner seems like it's a little bland, so why not sparkle it up a little bit with some gold gems. So again, I'm giving you a look at how that all comes together. So here's the close-up look. Off camera, I went ahead and I colored in the leaves on that little cluster in green. So in the description, I'll have a list of all the products I used. If you're interested in purchasing them, please go to sandyzim.closetomyheart.ca and purchase. I'd love it if you hit the bell and subscribe to my channel. Give me a thumbs up if you like this video and share it with all of your crafty friends. Thank you again for watching my YouTube video. My name is Sandy Zimmer and I'm a Close to My Heart maker in Canada.